Hello all and welcome back. I hope you're doing really well. Absolutely tons of stuff to cover. Again, today we'll be looking at Hbar in some more detail as some more things have been confirmed by Hedera/Swirlds, as well as some bullish news for the crypto markets in general, as well as XLM or Stellar, as I've touched on in previous videos. If we take a quick look at the crypto bubbles for the weekly performance, a crypto project has appeared called ApeCoin. Absolutely never heard of it. It's somehow done 800% in a day. Probably some kind of rug pull. We can also see basic attention token is up 31% on the week, so it's performing very, very well, moving back up to rank 71 on the market cap. Pretty cool cryptocurrency. I urge most of you, if you use Chromium-based web browsers, i.e. Chrome and Edge and stuff, maybe worth taking a look at Brave because it's privacy focused and it does reward users in their native token BAT. For just using the browser and viewing an ad or two now and again. So very nice reward for browsing the internet. We can also see Stellar over here up 6% on the week now, nearly 3% on the daily, as well as some other cryptocurrencies generally starting to turn green again. And this is obviously off the back of 2 rounds of news, one over in the US from the Fed, increasing interest rates by 0.25%, as well as in the UK, the UK government have increased interest rates by 0.25% also. I think a lot of this is priced into financial markets anyway, and not only that, now there's been less of an adverse reaction to these interest rate hikes than we typically see, just because inflation is running rampant. These interest rate hikes should try and halt, or will aim to halt price increases, which is on people's minds at the moment with everything going on in the world. If I flick over, some of the big news today being Ukraine has legalized cryptocurrency as it receives millions in crypto donations. So the Ukrainian government has been actively soliciting crypto donations. Volodymyr Zelenskyy has now signed into law a bill that effectively legalizes the cryptocurrency sector in the country. This decision comes as Ukraine has received cryptocurrency donations worth tens of millions of dollars from individuals and groups hoping to help the country's war effort against Russia. The bill signed by Zelenskyy was approved by Ukraine's parliament last month and creates conditions for the launch of a legal market for virtual assets in Ukraine. It allows Ukrainian banks to open crypto accounts for firms, appoints the National Bank of Ukraine and the National Commission on Securities and Stock Market as financial watchdogs for the sector. And as reported by CoinTelegraph, means crypto exchanges and companies that handle other virtual assets will have to register with the government. The state says it will protect citizens' cryptocurrency holdings with the same legal force as its fiat currency. This is absolutely fantastic news anyway. Obviously, Ukraine not being a member of the European Union, but being very, very close and was part of the application process to the EU. If they're passing these sorts of laws with minimal border distance between them and the European Union, we may see further European Union state members come out and start to legalize this and take this step towards legalizing crypto, signed into law and protecting the assets of its people as if it would its domestic currency. This is absolutely phenomenal news for the continued adoption of cryptocurrency and rolling out. Every time we see one of these countries, no matter how big or small, come out and put laws in place to protect the cryptocurrency markets, or access to the cryptocurrency markets and development, is just more bullish news for the market in general. This also flicks back over to something that I've touched on not only in recent videos in the last couple of days, but a while back. This article goes back to December the 14th, 2021, before these tensions between Ukraine and Russia really escalated. And that was the Ukrainian commercial bank to test digital currencies built on Stellar. So the Stellar Development Fund was working with the Ukrainian central banks to build a CBDC for their native currency. Now that this has been legalized, this will continue to go ahead by the looks of it. And the Stellar Development Fund may actually end up producing one of the world's first CBDCs integrated into the Stellar platform. So this is some really bullish news for Stellar anyway, especially considering that it is pretty undervalued. We can also see here in November, Nigeria launched the e-Naira, reportedly recording nearly 500,000 wallet downloads in the first 3 weeks. In October, the European Central Bank kicked off a 2-year experiment into a retail CBDC, one that can be used by customers for making or receiving payments. Ukraine too had been laying down the groundwork for potential launch of an electronic hryvnia. in early July, the nation's parliament passed a law regulating payment methods that listed a future CBDC in the same category as cash or electronic money. So now we can see they mentioned this back in December. They've now legalized it and signed it into law, and it looks like they're just going to continue development with CBDCs, especially off the back of how much support they've received via cryptocurrency donations. Really seriously bullish news for the markets in general, and I'm incredibly excited to see how the rest of 2022 continues to play out. Flicking over, if I come over to a tweet from Blockworks as well, the CEO of Binance has now said we are looking into acquiring banks and payment processors in Brazil. So this just goes to show how big these cryptocurrency platforms are getting now. They're in the works of effectively acquiring these banks and payment processors. This is actually, again, really, really big news for the infrastructure of the cryptocurrency world. If you've got massive exchanges that are then integrated because they own payment processors and banks, this then enables them to effectively process or merge cryptocurrency transactions with traditional transactions and have this kind of merged version of DeFi and traditional finance effectively. So again, really bullish news for the general cryptocurrency space. Lots of good stuff going on today. We can also see as well, another tweet from Blockworks 1 hour ago, Coinbase held nearly 140 billion in crypto for institutions in 2021 versus 45 billion in 2020. That is a 204% year-over-year increase. Again, it just goes to show how quickly this is expanding, and I see this continuing. This will be a long-term trend that will continue, especially as more of these governments like Ukraine, etc., legalize crypto assets. This enables the institutions to come on board and enter the markets. You see more capital come on board, and these year-over-year increases and market caps of cryptocurrency projects will just continue to increase, probably exponentially into the future as the market picks up, Web 3.0 gets rolled out, and a lot of these big tech firms move into the space as well. Some interesting news flicking over to Hbar now. So an executive advisor at Exxon Mobil has added the H, so the Planck constant H in their LinkedIn profile name. So again, this is a proper breadcrumb. It's nothing solid at all, but very, very strange that they've gone ahead and done this. You can see Jody H. Trantham, executive advisor at Exxon Mobil. So potentially there's some sort of, execution advisor. There's potentially some sort of, that they're looking into Hedera, or they are looking into cryptocurrencies in general. Again, this is a breadcrumb. I don't want to put too much emphasis on this yet, but very interesting nonetheless. We've seen a few of these different breadcrumbs, some more substantial than others, where they've actually messaged members of the Hedera team. So we'll see what plays out from here, but I'll be keeping an eye on this. Really interesting tweet from Hbar 1000 as well, talking about bananas. So what do bananas have to do with cryptocurrency? So distributed ledger technology can be by Hedera Hashgraph can be used by agricultural supply chains to track, trace, and provide a trusted immutable log from the field to the grocery store, all in real time. Hello Future. So if you guys have been following my videos, many of the use cases that I've touched on that are already building on Hedera are in the supply chain industry, where be it from physical products that are sort of man-made right the way through to sort of grocery based, from the farms to the grocery stores. So I think the supply chain use case would be really, really important. Really interesting as well, sort of piece of analysis / information here from Hbar 1000 saying if everyone in Texas wanted to own 700 Hbar each, there wouldn't actually be enough. That's only $140 per person. There's roughly 29 million people in the state of Texas. It's about half the population of the United Kingdom, for example. So the limited supply of Hedera and these other cryptocurrencies, you can begin to understand how accumulating a lot now means a lot in the future. In the future, when these prices have increased and there's more people within the cryptocurrency space, the supply suddenly doesn't look as big as it did before, especially if you want to own several. You'd want to own several dollars or pounds. Well, if you want to own several Hbar, you might not be able to because the supply just isn't there. There isn't an infinite supply. It is capped at the end of the day. And this is one of the appeals of Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example. They are inflationary at the moment as they continue mining new coins and putting the supply out there, but it's finite at the end of the day. There's no sort of quantitative easing on these chains. One of the last things I wanted to touch on again is looking at staking for Hedera. So some more really, really bullish and prominent news. has come out that permissionless reward staking models have been approved by the Hedera Governing Council, and they will be implemented on the Hedera network. And this was in the February 2022 council meeting minutes. So we can see highlighted here at the bottom, after being moved and seconded, the council approved implementing a permissionless reward staking model on the Hedera network. So this is going ahead. There is absolutely no doubt about it. It's still in the roadmap for Q2 of 2022. So we're literally 4 to 6 weeks probably away from seeing some big moves in this space. We can also see here a guy going by the handle Smelly String, Cody Little here. I'm a software engineer at Hedera Swelds. I'm not permitted to discuss specific timelines, but keep your ear to the ground on this one. This is very high on our priority list. So we can hear from ourselves, from the dev team, the software engineers at Hedera Swelds, this is something high on their priority list, and it's something they are looking to continue developing and push out really soon. As we can see, still stated for Q2 rollout, as far as we all know. We've got Stader Hbar moving in as well for becoming a staking platform. You've got SourceSwap pushing out DEXs, and you've also got Hedera Starter looking at DAO and DEX sort of features as well coming into Q2. Anyway, guys, I hope you sort of enjoyed this video. Just some seriously bullish news in general for the cryptocurrency markets, and as we move more and more or get closer and closer to staking on Hedera, I think we've got some very exciting times ahead. So I hope you guys have all been accumulating through this bear phase, as we may see some very nice price appreciation soon. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for watching.